Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/Capes and Lunatics. Hope to see you there. Where's that tubby bastard?
Talking about Kevin Smith?
Well, they kind of were.
Kevin Smith.
Anyway, yeah, so welcome back, kids. You know what time it is. She's a little bit salty.
He's a whole lot of petty. And together with the Salty and Petty podcast.
Duh. That's right, kids. So, yes, we're back to talk. What is that? The 1995 movie Mallrats from Kevin Smith's second movie.
Maybe we should have waited one more year, but oh well. The Smith Timber waits for no one.
That's right. That's right. And by the end of the month, we'll get to another Kevin Smith movie.
That's the least Kevin Smith movie that ever Kevin Smith movie. I don't know. I have to rewatch it and see how it holds up. Actually, I haven't rewatched it yet.
Yeah.
I was right though. This still remains the best Kevin Smith movie. Sorry, Clerks fans.
Yeah, I do kind of like this one.
And only because the iconic May She Rest in Power, Shannon Doherty, really makes it all. I love Shannon Doherty. You don't know. I'm a huge 90210 fan. I even watched Little House on the Prairie for her. So, yeah, actual fan.
Oh, you had all kinds of names in here. You had Shannon Doherty, you had Michael Rooker, you had Stan Lee.
Yeah. Even Joey Lauren Adams, she was really big in the 90s with that voice of hers. And they got, of course, Ben Affleck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know why they try to make Affleck a leading man. He plays more a convincing villain.
Doesn't Matt Damon know
it? Yeah.
you know.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the second film in Kevin Smith's little stupid View Askew universe.
Mm-hmm.
So this comes right after Clerks. It's a little bit of a flop, but it's a cult classic for a reason. I say it's right up there with like Say Anything. There's a whole bunch of movies that came out like right around this time that are kind of all the same. They're like, this is definitely a Gen X movie for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
So, like, just to let you know how big of a flop, the budget was $6.1 million and the box office was $2.1
million.
Mm-hmm. Yikes.
I remember I don't know if I even knew this was at a theater or if it was at a theater near me. The first time I remember seeing this is at a video store.
Same, bud. Same.
Myself. I was like, "What is this? Is kind of like my introduction to Kevin Smith." I was like, "What is this?"
Oh, you didn't see Clerks first? See, like, I don't know. I feel like this was a weird time. Like, if you had like cool older cousins, like everybody was in love with Kevin Smith at this time. Like all the like young Gen X kids were like, really?
Yeah, no, I really didn't know anyone who was into Kevin Smith. So like, yeah, I found this on the shelf. I was like, "What is this?" I'm like, "Who got Stan Lee into a movie?"
Well, you'd be surprised how many movies he actually.
Well, yeah. He loved the camera.
Oh yeah, he did. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff we could get into, but I think I'll tell you guys the plot, and we'll get into like some really obscure Easter eggs. And no, I didn't say Easter Bunny, not yet. Anyway,
plot. It's a Kevin Smith movie.
Come on, be nice. Be nice.
I know.
I mean, you don't have to. This is Salty and Petty.
I mean, it's like that joke when Jerry and George are writing. What writing? It's a sitcom.
Exactly. No, like seriously, just break out the bong and thoughts ensue.
Yes,
that's definitely the vibes. So, college student T.S. Quint is preparing for a trip to Universal Studios, the one in Orlando, the best one, with Brandy Seven, during which he plans to propose to her. And I'm just like, okay, sure, if you say so. However, Brandy tells him she can't go because she volunteered to fill in as a contestant on Truth or Date, which is definitely giving. What is that Jenny McCarv show from? Singled Out.
Singled
Is
Out,
it?
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely what that was giving, which is her
Hmm.
father's dating game show. Because, the original contestant died from an embolism bursting in her brain because she swam 700 laps at the YMCA because TS said, her weight. Something about her weight. I was like, damn.
Fat girl killer.
Yeah, that's 95. Yikes.
Hmm. Hmm.
So Brandy and TS argue over his responsibility, and the two break up. TS turns to his best friend Brody Bruce, which is why you never date a bro named Brody. Sorry, Jenner. And who was also dumped by his girlfriend Renee. So they're like, "Yo, we should go to the mall." Cause I mean, it was the '90s. What else were you gonna do?
Hmm. I know. Yeah, yeah.
Mall culture is so fucking dead, bro. Like
It
every
is.
single mall, even the nice mall. Everybody has the nice mall and the bad mall, right? Even the nice mall is dead. Like I had to go. Somebody drugged me to. Don't judge me. They don't know any better. American Eagle. I guess it's back in style again.
Oh
And I was
my.
just so we had to go to the nice mall. And I was just like, you could at least like Hollister. I mean, it's all in the same family, but
Hmm.
still, Hollister is just a little less. It's
Douchey.
dark and dank and dingy. American Eagle's too bright.
Too douchey.
So yeah, and the mall was absolutely dead. And our mall has an ice skating rink in it. It was like two kids on the ice skating rink. I was just
Really,
like,
really.
yeah. I was just like, oh.
Yeah,
The
back
only
in.
thing that was busy was the Auntie Anne's. Swear to God, it was wrapped around the corner.
Oh wow, wow.
Not the Red Robin. Not no Auntie Anne's. Not even Cinnabon. Auntie Anne's. I'm just like interesting. We literally waited in line for like 15 minutes. I think that's the longest I've ever waited in line for any food at the mall, including Chick-fil-A.
Was it part of the food court or was it
It was on its own, down in its own little corner. It's like down by
ah
where like all the so they have like this little corner where there's like you can
so,
get like macaroons, and then there's
so,
also like a Cinnabon, and then there's a couple other, like I think it's an Orange Julius right there too.
so it's mid mall snacking, okay.
Yeah, mid mall snacking, exactly. So yeah, it's funny because it's at the end of the corridor, right before you go down to the escalator. So it's like you've walked the whole stretch. You deserve a snack. That's that whole little corner of the mall. So I was just like, oh, I remember when I was a kid. Like they don't even have Disney store. I think the mall died the minute Disney stores took most of their stores out of malls.
That was the start of a lot of them, yeah.
And there's like no more anchor stores. It's like, yeah, we have Macy's and Dillard's, but like J.C. Penney's gone. I mean, J.C. Penney's and
Sears,
Sears and
JC Penney.
Kohl's,
Mm-hmm.
they're like they're out of the mall too. They like basically are anchor stores for like those little mall strips now. Is their
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, we have a Kohl's where it's its own thing. It's its
Yeah.
own building, yeah.
It's its own building. It's its own anchor now, and it's just like it just changed. It's changed so much, like because it's like back to school time, And so I was expecting to see a lot more traffic at least, but everybody buys their stuff online on Shein and Temu. Sweatshop labor. I mean, not that American Eagle isn't sweatshop labor. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it is,
Or they're going to
but still,
Target or
yeah. So it was a little sad because I just remember being in middle school, getting dropped off on a Saturday, and we go to a movie, we get something to eat,
mm-hmm.
maybe going to Aeropostale or Loomies, which is still there actually. I'm really actually happy about that. Or Journeys to get your Vans, if you know, you know. It's just so sad. GameStop was even empty. I mean, like it was like one person working
Mm-hmm.
and no people in there. And I'm like, not even for the Funko Pops?
I know.
Funko Pops aren't even saving GameStop. You know that's bad.
Oh yeah, yeah. Anytime there's like a clearance rack usually in ours half the time.
I mean, the whole store's a clearance rack. Let's all be
I know, but
honest.
I'm just saying that there's stuff that's more discounted.
So yeah, it was really sad. So when I was watching this movie, I was like, this is what a mall is supposed to be, kids.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this was like a little nostalgic romp. Honestly, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah. So did I.
So yeah, but guess what? Plot twist. I mean, I guess the only plot twist in this movie, really. Truth or Date is being filmed at that same mall. And then they run into William, who, poor guy, he's trying to see that sailboat in the Magic Eye poster. Do you remember those? I love those things. I have like 1,000 of them.
I can't do
A big
those. I
book
swear.
of 'em.
I'm Willem. I'm just like, what? I can't see it.
No, some are harder than others, and I don't know. I was just like, oh, everybody has that one William Fair who can't see the magic eye. I think a lot of people actually couldn't see it, and they just said they did. Honestly,
Oh yeah, smell sailboat, a sailboat.
so I think that's something also very relatable. I was like, this is just so 90s it hurts. Like 1995 is peak 90s outside of like 1999. Like I feel
Mhm.
like those 2 years are just very when you think of the well, I say like 93, 95 are all kind of the same. It's very grungy, very, wannabe Nirvana kind of vibes.
Well, yeah, pretty much 92 to 95 is like the same vibe.
Yeah, it's the same year.
Yeah.
then you have like 97 through 99. It's all the same year. So like
Hmm.
yeah. We had trends, kid, not micro trends. Okay, stuff
Yes.
lasted a little longer.
I think
Yeah.
I think I think because the internet wasn't as big. Yeah.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, it was like I think the thing when people say like, oh, the joking, like the Matrix, 1999 was the peak year of humanity. It kind of was. Like our
Mhm.
monoculture actually started really dying. And everything kind of just became less and less like, oh yeah, water cooler talk.
I feel like it was more subtle, but I feel like we did get a Y2K.
We did. We actually did. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god, talk about old. Try to explain to your child what Y2K was.
Ooh, you can tell them that you know how the switch only goes up to 2035.
Mm.
And what happens after we hit 2035? It probably is gonna break and not work anymore. That's
Oh.
their Y2K.
Okay. Okay.
I actually like who told me that? I don't even know if that's true, but I like spreading misinformation on the internet because that's the thing to do these days.
Oh my.
Trying to fit in, man. But no, I think that is genuine. Somebody showed me that, and I was just like, oh, okay.
That's right. That's right, kids. Lil told me birds aren't real.
Some of them aren't, but that's not my business. Sorry, NSA agent. Go talk to the FBI agent.
I forget what I heard the other day, and I was like, I guess Lil.
Let's see what else. So yeah, they're there, and then they're like, hey, look at those stupid guys, Jay and Silent Bob. Let's get them to destroy the show stage. And it's like, bro, how many like booby trap, elaborate Tom and Jerry freaking schemes did they come up with, and none of them worked?
Booby.
So then we see Brody and TS run into Trisha Jones, a 15-year-old senior who is writing about. I feel like Kevin Smith has something against people who achieve things.
Oh.
He's writing a book on the sex drive of men ages 14 to 30, for which he has sex with various men. This is a little problematic.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
As research, and this goes into your theory about why we even have Smith Timber. Oh, we never even told them the whole origin behind Smith Timber. Do you want to tell
Uh,
them the origin since we're here at a problematic part?
I
It's
mean,
a joke, but maybe not.
I forget what
You
brought
you
about.
you wanted to write a blog, like it's back in the day when we were
Yeah, but
like,
I
what?
forget what even what it which book kind of started the conversation. Maybe it was like from the Frank Miller to the Kevin Smith, but just I was like, I don't know. It was kind of a joke, but I was like, maybe not. It's just does Kevin Smith have a problem with women? It's just, just
What was this like 3 years ago at this point? 4 years?
I don't know. It was at least a year or two ago. Yeah, yeah. And it's just I'm
I mean,
just
we were
like,
talking about writing blogs. It had to be a minute ago.
yeah, because even if like, well, I was even writing blogs at that point, but it's just like if you read some of his comics, and I'm sure if we do
Watch any of
review
movies
some of these
universe,
movies, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it just seems like a lot of what's
But
bad things
don't all
happen to
men of a
women.
certain age have a problem with women because up till very very recently, women couldn't even get credit, and like
Oh yeah, yeah.
the social cachet of men has been on the decline, and
Well,
there's this epidemic of loneliness. There's the rise of the
yeah.
manosphere and being red
Well,
pilled and all these other things. So I
well,
mean,
yeah. Well, that's the new thing going around like Facebook and stuff, where it's like, oh yeah, no, your grandparents didn't stay together, but not
because she
everyone's
couldn't get a
grandparents.
damn credit card.
Yeah, it's not that they were so in love. Some of them, it's like, yeah, they had no other option.
No, but tell me why some of my friends' grandparents like, oh yeah, I was 14 and he was 22, and he just one day just said, marry me.
Well, it depends on the age too. Like if it was like the
Yeah,
depression and
yeah.
stuff, or yeah.
So you hear some of them like she was 12 and she brought her dolls with her. You're just like, oh my god. I know it was a different time, but even then, that doesn't seem quite right. But then I always think back to when I was growing up. That one girl, what was her? Her name was Brandy something, and she was like, her parents basically let her marry this dude when she was 16 because he was like rich and semi-famous. I can't remember her name, but I know everybody. If you were in the 2000s, you know exactly
Oh,
who I'm
that
talking
yeah, yeah,
about.
yeah. The blonde or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know who you're
and it was
talking.
very, and lots of things happen like that, like even today. So it's just like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's so weird. Was it Courtney Stodden?
yes.
Yes.
Her and Heidi Spencer will forever have like, I always like keep an eye on them just to make sure
Hmm.
because those relationships were not healthy even at a very young age. I was like, ooh, hope
Yeah,
nothing happens to them.
she was 16 and he was 50.
Yeah, yeah, that's wild. Like it was on ET. I'm like, we should be like the only, and they got famous for it, and it's just a sick thing. And
Hmm.
that kind of sums up the 90s and the
Oh, actor Doug
2000s.
Hutchinson. Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't even know who the fuck that guy was.
he was. I think he was always like this. He wasn't the lead. He was always like
It's
second
like
or.
you fucked your way to the bottom. At least Pamela Anderson fucked her way to the middle. Jesus.
uh,
Yeah, it was yeah. Stuff like that growing up really like yeah, that's why I'm a little warped.
well, again, I mean, back in the day, like all of them, like oh god, was it Elvis and a bunch of them did that
Oh,
too.
don't even get me started on Elvis. We don't even want to start the Elvis conversation.
No.
That's a whole Patreon that needs to be behind a paywall because I don't want those fucking Elvis apologists coming in my comments. Cause then I'm gonna have to dox you and see what you've been doing on your hard drive. You know
Oh
what I
my.
mean? Yeah, I don't care for Elvis apologists at all. So anyway, so yeah, 14-year-old having sex with men for research, and she films every encounter. I was like, oh, how very sexualized in videotapes, which also came out around this time. She then reveals that the previous night she had sex with Shannon Hamilton, a 25-year-old clothing store manager who Brady hates because of his lack of a shopping agenda. Oh my god, this is so capitalist. It hurts.
I know that when he confronts him and he's like, "Oh, I hate you, mall rat kids. You don't come to shop or work. You just come to hang out." I'm like, "What teenager? What teenager did? What teenager didn't go to the mall with a shop? Who did go to the mall with a shopping agenda in the
I mean,
'90s?
I
Come on.
did in high school, but like middle school, me, yeah, I was going to the arcade and the movie theater, and I maybe bought some socks or something at Claire's or Justice or yeah, I'm old, guys.
Oh,
I'm
please,
old.
that was keeping the malls alive for so long. Is the
Yeah,
impulse, the impulse,
tween and teen culture kept the
yeah,
capitalism
the impulse
machine running.
buys. You're just rolling through the mall with your friends. Is like, oh, hey, what's that? Oh, I guess I might buy that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some did, some didn't. But I mean, even in '95, we've ever since the '80s, we've always kind of been in a subtle depression. If we're all being, or at least a mild recession, like everybody wants to pretend like it was all good, but we were constantly going through like a traumatic currency changes. Like we had so many bubbles pop. Like we had the internet bubble pop right before this movie. So it's like really interesting when you think about it.
Hell, the comic books.
Yeah, yeah, trust me. You know. I honestly, I think Superman being broken into 4 books is probably my original Wonder Woman
Really?
double page snicker ad. Yeah, I told you that's when comic books just really changed and just really truly felt like a business and a cash grab to me. That was the exact moment my little brain was like, "Oh,
No,
capitalism, yay!"
I mean, around the same time. No. Not the four Superman's 4 books. You know what? It was the ultimate cash grab. Punisher got 3 books, monthly books. Talk about your cash grab.
If the market demands it and can sustain it, then who are we to say? But ultimately, the Superman books did not sustain sustain in the market. So
Well, no, I mean, and they all did it. Superman had 4 books, Spider Man had 4 books.
yeah, it's just like you can't set that precedent.
Oh my lord, did you feel called out when anytime they made any kind of comment about comic books?
And listen, even here, even as a kid, the first time that I saw it when I was like 8, 9, something like that, I was like, oh, this is very superficial commentary on superhero comic books. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And for him to go on to write comic books, that kind of just always kind of like I've always kind of felt that way about Kevin Smith. I feel like maybe he just does a wiki dive and goes into it sometimes. I'm not gonna say what book I'm talking about, but if you
Well,
thought of a book, then you're probably right.
I think if I don't think he's actually read monthly comics probably since the 90s. Yeah.
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 Yes, that is the vibes. But
Yeah.
I mean, everybody, like I said, everybody I know back in the day had a Kevin Smith phase. So whether it was like
Yeah.
this or like Dogma, I think a lot of people had a Dogma
Yeah.
phase.
And I mean, the other point that came up when we were talking about doing Smith Timber is, yeah, I believe, yeah, he sees the world comics and he sits at the feet of his master, Frank
Frank
Miller.
Miller, and how can you miss that?
What?
How can you not though? Like when you're, like I said, men of a particular age, like that like before your prefrontal cortex is developed, and that's what you're reading. And like I said, even me when I was a kid, yeah, Frank Miller's a fucking genius.
Yeah.
And then you read
And,
it as an adult, and the problem is most people don't go back and read it as an adult
yeah.
and recontextualize and go, hey, whoa.
Yeah, that's why I love our podcast, because sometimes I'll read a comic, I'll be like, okay, this reads completely different than it did, back in the 90s.
Yeah, like I said, the '90s is its own little thing. Like honestly, if I always kind of laugh and giggle and hee hee. Oh, if I had a time machine, I'd go back to here, there. Nah, I'd go back to the '90s. I'd stay there.
Man, we need to teach a history class to these kids about the 90s, man. It's just
Listen, I feel so bad for like current, like if you know, you know. I think most millennials probably had a current event class, like the current events today. Like you're getting an F. Cause there's no way that happened. It's so much that happens and so much unbelievable. Like if you were not fucking there, shit that happened.
oh my god, it's depressing, Lilith. I saw something online. Some woman was saying how sad she was because someone told her that they
She's
bought
older
some.
than Russia. Oh.
Well, no, some girl told her she bought vintage 90s clothes at the Goodwill, or vintage
Trick
9.
pink, baby. Jinko jeans. Let's get some stock back in that. Oh my god, no. Let's not even talk about the hot topic. Like I went in the hot topic, I cry every time I go in the hot topic because I remember original OG hot topic.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Dark, dank, feel like you might get bit by a vampire hot topic.
Now it's like,
It's
oh,
all Hello Kitty. Like I love Hello
and
Kitty,
some
but
anime or something. It's just like, oh gosh.
hey, the prerequisite Harry Potter and the Funko Pops nobody wants.
Yeah,
What? It's like them in Walmart. They get the Funko Pops nobody wants, and in mass, they just have a whole bunch of like,
and they're always on sale, and it's like, well, yeah, no shit, because this fall ones no one
yeah,
wants.
get your hot cash. I'm like, is it really hot cash? More like cold cash. I always end up. I'm like, I haven't been in here in 5 months. How do I have hot cash? I want to know. It's a scheme. It's a
More
scam.
hot something.
Hot doo doo, yeah, for sure. Like shout out to the kids. They don't know.
It's like if you go on, just like everything, if you go online anymore, Hot Topic might have some decent stuff, but it's because again, they're all trying to save money, so they don't ship a ton of stuff to the stores.
It's like, yeah, but they also make the shopping experience nowadays so uncomfortable that you want to go online. But I'm like, babes, I came in here to make sure my fat ass can fit in these jeans before I buy them online. Like, please, I'm trying to give you
Yeah,
patronage. I'm trying to help this freaking high school or college kid that's still working here.
yeah. I think
Go to Spencer's. Just go to Spencer's.
that's probably. Oh, I don't know if Spencer's even what it.
Spencer's is
Well,
still around. Yeah,
they are still around.
Spencer's hasn't changed much. I'm not gonna lie to
Yeah,
you.
no, they're in our mall too. No, but I mean Spencer's has changed. I think just because they have more sex toys and
I think it's always been the same amount in the back room. At least
I
I've
don't
lived
know.
in bigger cities though, so
Yeah, I was gonna say in ours, I think it's increased. Yeah,
well, I mean, good. Sex positivity is up.
yeah.
Everybody should have access to Bob, battery operated boyfriend.
Oh my.
So yeah, what else happens? Brody then learns that Renee has begun a relationship with Shannon. We'll use that in quotes. Brody confronts Renee to find out more about the relationship, and then they have sex in an elevator.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, oh,
Kids. I don't. Again, that's the other thing. I don't know what was up with like elevators in the '90s in the malls, but
it was literally a song, wasn't that Johnny Gill, "Love in an Elevator"?
that, yeah. And then too, I mean, I had two friends. One bet the other one if he wouldn't like moon the mall and put his bare ass cheeks on the
Oh,
glass
if
of
you
the
didn't have a
elevator.
glass elevator on the, and if you didn't have like at least a 2-story mall with a glass elevator, your mall wasn't shit.
Oh my god,
Exactly.
we still have one, but yeah, never touch the glass in the mall elevator.
Never. I
No,
don't want to touch the buttons on a regular elevator. Like, I
true.
mean, just dealing with the unwashed masses is trauma enough for me.
Oh, sorry,
This
lovey.
from a person who goes to used to go to cons a ton. Like, I just ever since the pandemic, I have just been much more of a hermit, and I'm
Now she's a
so
bubble
much
girl.
happier.
Now she's a bubble girl.
Truly, if I could, I would. If I didn't have to go into the office twice a month, I literally would never leave my house. I don't have, this is the beauty of living how we live, right? If you don't want, if you're one of those weird, people that agoraphobia, you have that, you can live a normal life. You got Amazon, you got Whole Foods, you got Target. Everybody delivers. You got DoorDash, Uber Eats.
That's what I said. I said if I didn't have a family, I think I'd go out once a week. I'd make one day. I would
One
take
trip to listen. I
one
told
trip.
you what I had to
Co-
do last
Comic
week.
books, groceries, whatever else I needed. Then that was it. See you next
My
week.
guy said he would send it out for delivery if I really wanted to. So I'm just like, don't tempt me.
Well, yeah, I mean there are stores, yeah, like comic shops and stuff. Like even yeah, you can order. They'll ship it to your door. Yeah.
Yeah, but like day of, so
Oh, day of. Okay, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know like Will's guy. He just sends him the whole month at once. Yeah, at the end
I
of the
couldn't
month.
wait a whole month for my
I
comic
know.
books. So then,
I'm like really. I'm like how do you read? I'm
I mean, I could go completely digital again. Like I did that for a good 5 years, and I
true.
didn't mind it. But like, but you still have to go out when you do the once a week for like you do make the orders for your variant covers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
but like that's what I said. I'd go out once a week for whatever I needed, groceries, whatever.
yep. And like I said, last week was my big day out for the month. I had to go to Target, Walmart, IKEA.
And,
We went to a whole bunch of places. We went to the mall to get clothes and stuff.
and
So
and as most of our group, I think, agrees on, yeah, it's like if you stayed at home, you wouldn't have to be in pants like ever.
exactly, the tyranny of pants is just what really kills it. It's like let's bring back togas.
Oh yeah,
Like just let everything flop and breathe, please.
yeah. They need air. They need to breathe.
Exactly.
My boys need a home.
Mark your bingo cards. Brody is then later abducted and attacked by Shannon, who intends to have anal sex with Renee.
Sex in an uncomfortable place. The back of a Volkswagen.
Hey, Volkswagens are plenty comfortable as long as it's not a rabbit or a bug.
Oh my. Oh my.
Oh my god, I saw the electric Volkswagen. Like it's no homage for sure. I was really hoping that they would just do it and then make it electric.
Mm-hmm.
But they had to make some concessions because it is electric. But I'm thinking about getting one actually.
Really?
I always wanted an old VW bus, but or the camper that they have, but like they're the ones that are the vintage ones are just way too expensive now.
Lilith wants a shagging wagon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
listen, as a very, 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 very dedicated fan of that '70s show, yes, I've always wanted a Shagger wagon. Or one of those I've been thinking about just for poops and giggles, getting one of those old station wagons that are like with the wood paneling, or the minivan, the Chevy Astro with the wood paneling, and just bears the shit out of the kids and go pick them up just for poops and giggles. Like, if I need to go through this, you need to go through this. It builds character.
Hello, kiddos. Time to go home.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh man, these kids have it way too good.
Mhm.
Some goddamn adversity.
Well, these days, people are actually aware of people's emotional health and feelings.
Boo! That's what's wrong with these kids. They weren't latchkey kids.
No.
You have to drink hose water and deal with lead and asbestos.
You could tell you didn't spend 12 hours.
Empathy and they care about other things. Ew.
You could tell in the summers you actually spend time with other human beings.
Yeah. So after that creepy realization, as a result, Jan and Silent Bob assault the mall's Easter Bunny. F in the chat for the Easter Bunny, please. Under the incorrect assumption that he's the one that attacked Brody. Oh, let's just get out of here. Brandy's father, Jared, has Brody and TS arrested on false charges of drug possession at the mall. Jan and Silent Bob are able to rescue Brody and TS, and they hide out at the local flea market.
What they call it, the dirt mall.
Oh, have you ever been to a flea market?
Yeah. Like there. I mean, it was an older mall,
One
but
of
it's
the
not.
best places I find comic books, to be honest.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah. I mean, there. I'm sad. There used to be like a closed down mall. By the time I got there, it was already like closed down. But yeah, they had the flea market there every weekend and stuff. Now they kind of have like one. It's in uh, it's in a closed down movie theater. You know, like one of the big plex, movie plexes.
Yeah.
Yeah, now they have
I'm
a.
glad people are finding uses for old retail spaces. That makes me happy. Yeah, our flea market is huge, and that's usually where I get like a lot of my vintage GI Joe stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as you get older, flea market's better than malls. That's just kind of and
Oh
throw in a farmer's market and you're just and go antiquing
yeah.
and you're just you're your parents now.
Because yeah, the last time I went there was around Memorial Day, and yeah, me and Luca went, and I just found some comics, and like I forget what they were marked as, but the guy gave even after they were marked down pretty good, but then the
Yeah,
guy
you could talk a flea
I
market
brought
into
no, I didn't even have to talk
anything.
to him. He's like, yeah, just give me, it was like I think it was like $20 a book. So he's like, yeah, just give me 10. I was like, okay.
I bought oh man, I bought like that Batgirl Barbie with the motorcycle
Oh,
from the flea market. He had it as like $80 or something, and because I bundled it, it ended up only being like 20. Well, I bought a lot of stuff. Y'all know how I am. Anyway, but yeah, it ended up being like $20 for it. So I was just like, flea markets are not bad. They're just small businesses that need your help.
yeah.
I mean, they're literally, they sell their stuff on like eBay and Amazon and stuff like that too. But like for the most part, they're open that the 1 or 2 days, the Saturday and the Sunday, once a week. So if you have a local flea market, go check it out. It might surprise you.
Oh yeah. Because again, especially you have comics. I know Luca got a bunch of like sports cards and stuff, trading cards and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, great place for that.
Yeah,
Pokemon cards, Magic the
yeah.
Gathering cards. Yeah, if you're a nerd, go there. Um,
Especially if you're looking for older stuff in the some of those genres. Yeah.
yeah. So then we run into Ivana, the topless fortune teller with three nipples, who offers them some advice on their relationship problems, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. Call me crazy, but I'm not taking advice from a topless fortune teller with three nipples.
Well, Brody was freaked out by it, but as we saw, it was a whole fake gimmick. So
Yeah, of course. Still, it's like, I don't even like Marky Mark because he has three nipples. Well, that's not the only reason, but that's one of them.
I
Many other reasons to not like that man.
so do you think with her and then Joey Lauren Adams showed her boobs like for 2 seconds? Do you think what were they both intrinsic to the plot, or was it just
gratuitous '90s, gratuitous '90s garbage.
yeah.
And and this is also another fascinating thing: the destruction of Hollywood, like the Me Too movement. I feel like ever since the Me Too movement, Hollywood has been moving different, like in a good way, but like at the same time, it's like, is that why we have 8 season episodes that take 2 years? As like backlash to that, possibly.
Well, and you have to go through more hoops now, like intimacy coordinators and stuff, and
Which is good for some shows. Some shows definitely should have
yes.
didn't
But I'm
have
just
that.
saying,
It's crazy that they didn't.
is that why shows take longer now? It's because
I don't, because they don't have sex scenes in shows anymore, except for Euphoria. Euphoria was literally the only and like Game of Thrones, but Game of Thrones kind of ended before all that happened. So it's just like
uh,
maybe that's why we don't, because they don't want to hire the intimacy. You know what? It
yeah.
just clicked.
I
It
mean,
just clicked.
hey, look, the only one in Hollywood doing sex scenes is now Sydney Sweeney. Come on.
Well, like I said, it's been a rise of full frontal male nudity. Surprise, full frontal male nudity. Shockingly, like if you have Netflix and you might be surprised. Now it's flaccid, so it's no fun. But it's just there now, and I'm just like, no. Give me side boob and butt cheek. I don't want that.
You don't want floppy dong.
Exactly. Everybody loves hard cock. Like literally, if you're watching porn, you don't want to see floppy cock. You Everybody loves it. Okay.
I just heard the greatest drop ever. I'm never gonna top it.
Uh-oh.
Now I have to cut that out, and then Justin will try to top you with his reading of it.
Just any just drop that right on Justin.
And drop that hard dick on Justin.
A mess. Absolute mess. We're such children.
Who, us?
So yeah, they take they get the advice and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna win Brandy back, and I'm like, okay, so we're going back to the mall. Oh, But fun part, this is where the before the show begins, Brody meets Steve, and he gives him advice on romance. Now, he was married to his wife for a very long time, so I would take his advice on romance.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little salty, but I feel like Stanley was actually a pretty old salty guy, to be honest.
I mean, I think a lot of that was Kevin Smith dialogue because I mean, wasn't he like madly in love with his wife and stuff?
Yeah, but it was funny. It was for the gag.
Well, yeah.
Yep. And then after that, Brody requests that Trisha Jones get some footage of her having sex with Shannon, and I'm just like, oh, this can't be good. Then TS also persuades Jay to get two of the game show contestants stoned, which allows him and Brody to replace them on Truth or Date. And then during the show, Brandy recognizes the voices of Brody and TS, and they get into this on-air argument. And then Brody intervenes and explains. It's like, I spent the entire day pining for Brandy. I'm like, so what? That doesn't tell you anything, but whatever. And then TS proposes to Brandy, who accepts. Boo! After the show concludes and the police arrive to arrest TS and Brody, Silent Bob broadcasts a sex tape featuring Shannon and Trisha. This leads to Shannon's arrest for statutory rape. So, yay!
Yay! The child molester goes to jail. Yay!
It was like, oh, something that actually doesn't happen too often in real life. So, yay for that. I mean, all that to do that, you could have kept that side plot. But in the extended cut, we also see Jared's arrested for 19 FCC violations and broadcasting lewd and indecent images in a public forum. Yeah, there's like 5 different versions. I wouldn't say 5. There's like 3 different versions of this movie, which I'll get into in a little bit. And then Brody and Renee rekindle their relationship.
Release the Smith cut.
Oh, like I said, there's 3.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
The conclusion reveals that TS marries Brandy at Universal Studios on the Jaws attraction, and then Trish's book is a bestseller. And then Shannon gets a taste of his own medicine in prison. They put it in his prison purse.
No, yeah, okay, yeah. I love it. Yeah, lead him
William
more.
eventually does see the sailboat. That's the best ending. And then Brody becomes the host of the Tonight Show with Renee as band leader. And I'm like, yeah, babe, you had to pry that Tonight Show out of his cold, dead hands. Tonight Show ain't been the same, though. Really ain't been the same.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Although he was super problematic. Both of them were. All the late night show hosts were very problematic.
Oh, I think it goes all the way back to Johnny Carson. I mean, he was beating his wife. He was.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, just some of the guests. I mean,
yeah.
I don't think he was
Oh,
nice to
and
Joe
then
Rogan.
also a weird, random part is Jay and Silent Bob get orangutan named Susan.
Yeah.
Suzanne.
And they're like walking down the road with her, and they're like, that's another story.
Yeah. Do we? Anyway,
What you want to know? You want to know if they had sex with the orangutan?
Bro, listen. There was like a huge news story back in the day about that. Like they literally kept it hostage and treated it as a sex worker. Like they had men coming in and out, and they had to rescue it. And then there's a bunch of guys having sex with like a monitor lizard. Like it's okay to be single. And so
Oh yeah, I
okay.
mean, there wasn't a story at one point some guy was like having sex with a female dolphin or something.
Yeah. And then also that van full of animals recently. Like I just.
What?
Yeah, a guy was driving from like town to town with a van full of animals for other people to have sex with. Like
Oh.
it's crazy out here, bro. And I'm like, I blame Kevin Smith. I guarantee if we all go look in there,
I mean,
they have Kevin Smith. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I just mean that joke's older than time, but yeah. I mean, having sex with that's like having sex with a child. That's yeah.
I
Oh.
mean, we're on Twitch, so please don't.
Which I don't even know if they even like matter. I mean, well, not I don't know if we even should. I swear we don't get that many views on Twitch.
It's a joke. That was the joke.
I know.
But yeah, so let's just get into the cast. We got Shannon Doherty as Renee. Like that blew my mind rewatching this.
No. So you said FJD Vance. Who are you? A couch?
A very bad wig. It's Party City.
Oh, Noel said also best Stanley cameo in this film.
I personally prefer the DJ scene in Deadpool. So
that's what I was about to say. I'm like, what about the Deadpool scene? Yeah.
Best speaking lines, I guess.
You can't buy loaf, but you can rent it.
Jeremy London as TS. Jason Lee, like I think Jason Lee for a long time was like every like Gen X girl's like slacker boyfriend a dream of their dreams or whatever. He did a lot of these similar movies, similar guy. He was like basically the slacker version of Jason Bateman.
Oh my god, they pulled out the Sega Genesis.
Oh, I mean, even as a Nintendo girl, I'm gonna say the Game Gear had potential. It could have killed the Game Boy. I don't know
Oh.
what happened. But anyway, also Ben Affleck as Shannon is a very interesting artistic choice.
Oh.
And leave it alone. Joey Lauren Adams is Gwen. We got Renee Humphrey as Trisha Jones. Jason Mewes, of course, as Jay. I don't know how he puts up with Kevin Smith this whole time. Like, I guess because he keeps putting him in movies, maybe.
I mean, it made him famous. So yeah.
Like, certain parts, sometimes it's okay to bite the hand that feeds you, I feel like. Because he did go on to make a movie that was really good without
Yeah.
Kevin Smith.
Why?
So.
Why do you think Kevin Smith like kind of treated him poorly, or?
Maybe some actors don't mind being typecast, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, and again, I mean, Jay did have his like drug problems for a while. I think like Kevin Smith stood by him and stuff. So.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But like everybody in Hollywood has a drug problem. It's just isn't
Well,
publicized
yeah,
enough.
true, true. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, of course, Kevin Smith is Silent Bob. We got Ethan Sloopy as William. Stanley, of course, as himself. Who else can we talk about? That's about it. That's all we need to talk about. And Art James is Bob Summers, of course, of course, of course.
Mm.
I don't know. This movie is just so random.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I almost feel like Kevin Smith was pulling stuff from his life for this movie.
Yeah. And it's just so funny that Shannon Dorothy was literally the most famous cast member on this movie at that time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And Jason Lee was actually cast with no prior acting experience. He was like
Hmm.
literally a professional skateboarder. So that whole slacker look, the whole slacker skateboard look, that's authentic, which I think is like really good. But although I felt like Steve Zahn would have been good, but he was like him and Adam Sandler were like a little too old.
Yeah, and again, I think just because he was new to Kevin Smith, uh, like was willing to take chances on people, and two, probably the budget. He didn't have a lot.
Yeah, the budget, of
Yeah,
course, the
for
budget.
for a big Hollywood people. Yeah.
And I can't believe, like, bro, we were this close to having Seth Green or Breckin Meyer as freaking Jay. Like, I
Ugh.
couldn't see it. Like, it's so crazy when you think about all the people that were like kind of popular at the time, that, like all kind of came up and what could have happened.
Mhm.
And I'm just gonna say, if you don't know, this was like filmed in Seaview Square Mall in Ocean Township, New Jersey. In New Jersey, like, listen, as much shit as I give New Jersey, it's got some beautiful fucking malls. Shout out to Cherryland. And yeah, in Orange, like, listen, I love New Jersey for the malls. I'm not gonna lie, they know how to do malls, and they know how to do casinos.
Well, again, I think some places. I mean, no offense to them. I mean, look where I live, but I mean, just I think if there's not a ton of other stuff going on, yeah, they're like, yeah, we got to pour money in the malls, casinos.
I mean, maybe not casinos, unless they're owned by indigenous people and that's how they're making their money. That's like, I hate corporate. Like, I know, I love Vegas, but I love to eat. That's why the buffets are amazing in Las Vegas and the strip
Mhm.
clubs. I don't really do casinos.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, even the one up here, it's like I think it's like the one restaurant, it's like Guy Fieri's bar, or, restaurant or whatever.
Bro, if somebody drags me to one more goddamn Gordon Ramsay, how many restaurant chains did he have? Why is America obsessed with a British man? Like,
Because
hello, we're American.
you have your own food show, it don't matter. You just open a restaurant, people are like,
It's
oh,
like,
they
babes,
must
why
know
does
food.
everybody hate Bobby Flay? Listen, why does everybody? He's our American Gordon Ramsay. Get off of Gordon Ramsay's nutsack, please. My kids, they fucking love Hell's Kitchen and what is it, MasterChef? I can't stand it. He's cool on TikTok, not gonna lie, but like, I cannot stand watching any of his shows. Like that, he also has like Next Level, Food, so like don't even get me started on turning on like Discovery Channel or something. There's like a whole bunch of like travel log shows. I'm just like, how? I don't understand.
Danielle watches a bunch of this shows. Like, God, I gotta get her on. She doesn't want to come on, but I'm like, uh,
Anyway, sorry. This is a random rant, but yeah, I already kind of talked about the budget, but that's kind of sad. And there's been so many talks about sequels. Like I thought that the Mallrats sequel was definitely like it was supposed to be a TV show. I thought that was definitely going to get off the ground. But like back in
uh,
2020, I think it's the last time that I heard about it, and it's called Twilight of the Mallrats. I think, or yeah, I think that's what it's supposed to be called. And I think that's kind of perfect because malls are dying, right?
mm,
So
yeah,
hopefully that does get off the ground. I think that would be like an interesting take. I mean, I feel like Kevin Smith has grown as a person, writing and directing wise.
yeah,
So
maybe,
it'll
but
be interesting. It'll be an interesting take. But I don't know. I kind of take that back though because all the sequels to Clerks kind of suck. I'm not gonna lie, but I think that's because he was just really trying to capture lightning in a bottle for a second time and then a third time.
well,
And I
yeah, because
think
I
it was
think
just like, ooh,
anytime he does anything else, I don't know if it's as well received. So it's like it's almost like, oh well, I can't. I don't know if
I
he
don't
feels
know. Like I said, I think
forced to do sequels.
most Kevin Smith fans will say Dogma, which is definitely its most different.
Hmm.
Is probably their favorite Kevin Smith movie for the most part. And like I said, I think that Jersey Girl's probably the worst movie, but like I think Chasing Amy is one of his best too, and that's a little different. But I feel like this is the antithesis to John Hughes movies, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Even though you could tell he was inspired, he was trying to be the antithesis to that.
yeah.
I think he even says that as much in interviews, but it's like really obvious if you like. I've seen every single John Hughes movie, every single one. So not it's like not everybody can name everybody in the Brat Pack. Some names would surprise you.
Oh yeah,
A lot of people forget about a lot of the people that were in the Brat Pack.
Robert Downey Jr.,
I mean, Nepo Baby at its best.
Tony Doom, Tony Doom.
Yeah. So you want to know a fun fact? Kevin Smith is actually technically included in the Brat Pack.
Really?
Hmm.
Hmm.
So yeah, like I said, the names would surprise you.
Hmm.
Kiefer Sutherland, also somebody people forget about a lot. So yeah. Anyway, that is my take on Mallrats. I think it doesn't hold up at all, but it still has a special place in my heart. It's
Yeah.
super quotable. This is like one of the most quotable movies ever.
Or quotes from other places. Where do you get these wonderful toys?
Wait, what's Whoopi? You know, being intimate. What? Like fucking?
I know.
Or yeah, who's your favorite new kid? Oh yeah, call me Joey. And I'm like, no, Joey's not anybody's favorite new kid. Whatever. Much like Instinct, Joey's no one's favorite.
Oh my.
Sorry.
Oh my.
You can take that to the bank.
Oh yeah. All right. So, anything else?
No, we can get going. I know we got a whole another special show to do.
We have another show to do. Guess.
Oh, somebody said you look familiar. He's just a bald white guy. Of course he looks familiar.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Maybe they're talking about the puppet.
Well. All right. So yeah. So next time I believe we're.
Oh no!
Oh jeez.
You're getting trolled in the chat. I love it.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. It's at your expense. That's why I don't put my picture up, Phil.
Oh, grind. Oh, jeez. All right. All right. No more. No more. No. No more Twitch.
You're
No
banned.
no
Twitch
more
chat. You're
Twitch.
banned.
Yeah. I'm gonna go through this for one viewer.
We're doing better than most people on Twitch. That's the sad.
Really. Really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn. That's kind of sad. All right. So next time, yeah, Smith Timber will continue, but I believe we're. Oh, jeez. I know that you trolling me, Noel or Russell. Uh,
That's the beauty of Twitch. You just never know.
I know. I know. All right. So yeah, next time. Well, Now we'll put Smith Timber on pause because we'll do some Unlimited Justice because New Zatanna's out. So
New Zatanna and Power Girl, get ready for your boob windows and top hats and fishnets.
yes, then we'll be back for Arrow or for Kevin Smith's Arrow episode, some of his Green Arrow comics, and then I think we said Chasing Amy. So
Oh, should we have done the Flash one instead? I don't know.
I mean, it's up to you. I mean, we can change it.
No, I'm just asking.
No,
I'll go check the ratings and get back to you.
all right, doesn't matter to me. All right, so either the Arrow or the Flash episode, kids. All right, so send us your thoughts on all things Kevin Smith. Where we go. There we go. Salty and Petty 69 at gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes Lunatics episodes, social media, merchandise. Get your brand new Capes Lunatics merch. Get the classic Capes Lunatics merch. You can find, Lilith demands that you rain the money on us through the Cash App link.
Make it rain.
Yeah, don't make us be dancing on the pole. See, yeah, you want to harass me, you better come down to the club and throw money while I'm dancing on the pole. Or just send us money through the Cash App so I don't have to.
She looks like she's
capitalism.
a stripper pole down at Divas.
But we gotta live here. We need money.
Exactly. Or, of course, you can always support us through the Patreon, where Lilith and I give you something new episode every month, uncensored and completely exclusive to you patrons. You never know what you're going to get. So you can find that at patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. And you can find everything all in one place. That's tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network.
More vicious and brutal than ever.
All right, Lilith, where can people find you?
Oh, I'm still on a social media sabbatical, but just in case I decide to change my mind because I'm a woman and I have a right to, you can find me on TikTok at LilithHellfire69. Literally never know what you're gonna get. So
either do the 6 or do the 9.
That's right.
Come.
All right.
It's all rape and murder, I'll tell you that.
That's perfect for Twitch, honestly.
Oh, jeez. All right. Thanks for joining us. Again, next week we'll get some Unlimited Justice, and we'll be back in 2 weeks with more Smith Timber. And Kevin Smith, you want to join us? You're more than welcome.
Come defend yourself, sir.
Defend yourself, sir.
On guard.
Oh, my. All right. Come back next time. Remember, Stoogans. Fly, fat ass fly.